Here we go.
All right, what's going on, world? Ryan Rich here. This is another episode uh slash podcast, the second podcast of the Ryan Rich and Toni Hickman show. I got my girl, Miss the real Toni Hickman, online with me, and we're gonna be talking about us during this podcast.
Peace,
And
y'all.
all right,
Can you see me moving?
yeah, I can see you moving.
Because, like, my image in this corner is very stuck.
You more worried about your image than the podcast?
I'm worried
Yeah.
about both.
Yes, I'm taking
Sometimes
shots
you
at you.
just get like it's an instinct. It's an immediate instinct that wants to go up and throw a certain finger up at you. You know, like I'm in a gang or something. But I'm gonna let it be.
You could do that online. They might get a kick out of that.
Nah, I'm good.
You
How
sure?
y'all doing? How y'all doing? Much love to y'all. This is your girl, the real Toni Hickman, and I
Right.
am with my people's Ryan Rich. We are back for the second podcast, and we're gonna make it a little more interesting today.
Hmm.
So go ahead and kick it off, Ryan.
And I just want to start off by thanking everybody who tuned into the first podcast and who's been tuning into all of our videos up until this point. We really appreciate you. Remember, guys, you can hit us up on all social networking platforms. Facebook, just search for Ronald Richardson or Ryan Rich. And for my girl, Toni Hickman, just search for The Real Toni Hickman on Instagram and Facebook. For me, you can search for also, for me on IG, you can search for Ronald underscore Richardson Jr. on Instagram. And, if you send me a DM or you send her a DM, we'll respond to you as soon as possible. So tonight's topic is going to be on us. And we're going to focus on things we like to do. We wanted to set up like a Q&A on Facebook Live, but it wasn't working out. We was getting all kind of interference, so we're going to just do it like this.
It's just Facebook
Um,
ain't calling for us right now.
Facebook is not calling for us, so we're going to just continue on doing it like this. But uh, it hasn't been confirmed yet. We will be on Anchor FM sooner or later. Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah, we're gonna be on there soon.
Yeah, we're gonna
Soon.
be on we're gonna be on Anchor FM sooner or later. So be ready for that. And we're also gonna be putting everything up on SoundCloud so we
Yeah.
can kind of get this thing going. And we appreciate all of our subscribers and all of our followers and different things like that. And so tonight we just want to like give a little background on who we are as people outside of the disability, because we've been talking about that a lot. And we're just going to focus on some things that we like to do, things that pisses us off, things that make us tick, what we like to do for fun. We both like to act goofy. We both like to take shots at each other. So we're gonna just go with that. So starting off, I'm gonna kind of give my girl Toni Hickman a little minor interview here. Why don't you tell our people and our subscribers and all our listeners like where you were born and raised, where you currently reside, and what's your occupation?
Mm. Well, I was born in New York, raised in New Orleans, but I've traveled throughout the South. But New Orleans will forever be home.
Hmm.
Um, I have done a lot of things, but from day one I've just always been into music. So at one point I was signed to Suave House and have been featured on Gold and Platinum albums. And then I had my aneurysms and stroke, and it changed my life. So I still do music. I still do a lot of things. I'm an author. I'm a holistic naturopath certified, and basically I just work on bettering self and motivational speaking. So I have a plethora of titles, but it all blends into giving of myself education entertainment. Yeah.
Now I don't think you know this, but Suave House played a big role in my teenage years.
Mm.
All through high school, well, junior, starting off in junior high, like 8 Ball, MJG, and the whole camp like played a major role, and it got me through like a lot of tough times in high school.
Mm.
Yeah, so I just want you to know you played a part in
That's great. I
that.
received that. I
Yeah, that's
received.
what's up, no man. Yeah,
Yeah,
so so like I still bump 8 Ball and MJG to this day. Yeah,
that's what's
so
up.
hmm so yeah, man. My name is Ryan Richardson, and most of my people know me as Ryan Rich. My family knows me as Ronnie. Born and raised in New Orleans, West Bank. Born with cerebral palsy, and I currently work for one of the top radio stations in the city, which will remain nameless. But I know most of you guys know, who are close to me know, and most of my close friends on Facebook know. But we gonna keep that, under wraps. And I've been in the radio industry for about almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 7.5 professionally, and three amateurs. So I say, yeah, 10 years, and I'm moving my way up. Uh, I don't have as many titles as you, but I got a couple. Big brother,
And
uh, you know,
yeah. That's
big
a big
brother,
title.
yeah, disability advocate,
Right.
and future radio star and handsome model, yeah.
Right.
So yeah, man. And I'm pretty much a laid back guy. I like to hang with my friends. Just do the average everyday guy thing. Uh, Try to stay out of trouble and rib Tony all day. And you looked at me like that. You looked at me like that because
Because it's so many words. I'm controlling my tongue. Like it's, I want to curse, but I'm keeping it
you
peaceful.
should you should you should release that anger.
No, I'm good because
You
we have
good?
listeners and people watching, and I respect them.
Right.
Yes,
But I'm pretty sure you'll tell me this like after we get off air, right?
yeah. If I feel like it wants to come out now, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you to do it. I'm gonna get you to give me the middle
I'm
finger.
good. It's all right. I'm good.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, so the main reason why, give you a little background history, like the main reason why I wanted to start this podcast was because almost a year ago, I decided to come out uh, with my disability, which was really, really hard for me. But I overcame that. I had a friend of mine actually, Ebony, she played a major part in, giving me the courage and giving me the strength to come out and talk about what I dealt with, because I was worried about how my friends was going to receive it, and I knew my family knew, but at the same strength I was kind of worried about how they were going to receive it too. And I just started off doing videos and just about random stuff about me, and I just started talking about it, and I got more and more followers and people wanting to know more and this and that and other. And it's still a work in progress, and I guess I'm trying to build myself up as to be an advocate, which is going to be one of my overall goals. I kind of want to get away from the radio thing and kind of just focus on advocacy. Like that's going to be my long term career and goal.
and I
So,
think honestly, you're doing that right now. So you're not trying. You're
right.
actually doing it. So the goal is to just get bigger. But
Mhm.
the minute you decided to take that step, you started, and that's the reality.
And I was looking at my timeline. I was just going through my timeline one day, and like it's almost been a year. I think like last September
Mhm.
I started, like late last September. I started. And it's almost been a year. I just started like cranking videos out. Uh, I'm also part of a group called Fashion No Boundaries. Shouts out to my girl Octavia, who also played a part in me coming out and talking about my disability and different things like that. Like they really, really back me, and we're gonna give a brief background on how we met. Me and Tony, we met at random, huh? Online.
Yep.
At
Instagram.
Yeah, we met online Instagram, and I think you had asked me for to do something with your music, and
Yep.
I said I could see what I could do, um, and it didn't quite work out like that, but
But
We,
we still connected and we just didn't stop. Like I
hmm
drove to New Orleans, we met. It was really dope.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So man, that's like background, on us and you know the different things that we want to do and we like to do. So I want to ask you, like, what are some of your favorite things to do outside of music, like everyday things? Like,
Hmm.
what is like a normal day in the life of Tony Hickman?
Oh.
Break it down for us.
I don't know if I've had a normal day in a very long time. Um, but I love writing. I have a sewing machine. I love getting on my sewing machine. I also have like a miniature studio in my house. So, I love getting in there. And when I am not doing anything, I prefer just that, like just enjoying my alone time because I'm an
Right.
only child. And
Hmm.
so I actually enjoy solitude. And I know a lot of people don't get that because there's many people that really have a fear of being by themselves.
Hmm.
But for me, I appreciate my alone time because it helps me to go in and look at myself, but also just get peace of mind.
And I think that's what a lot of people don't realize, because I'm like that in so many ways too. I love being around people, but when I'm alone, wherever, whether it be in my house or just outside doing whatever it is that I do, you really find yourself when you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you
Yeah,
spend time by yourself.
yeah,
Um, it also helps me unplug, and I really don't have to do anything. Uh,
right.
and for most that know me, they know I'm a big video game head when I feel like
Mm,
playing. So I spend most of my time when I'm not at work on a video game or doing whatever. I love to spend time with family, as they can see from the pictures. My little sister is everything. Shouts out to my 14-year-old troublemaker Ashley. So yeah.
mhm.
So I mean, a normal day in life, that's pretty much it. I mean, I do everything that everybody else does. Play basketball in my spare time, modified version of basketball,
All right.
but still
That's all right.
basketball.
You could play. I
Mm,
used to play in high school for a hot second, but nah, that wasn't for me then. And I mean, if I could do it again like I wanted to, I would do it, but just because it would be challenging,
mm,
challenging myself. But another thing I left out is I'm like a bookhead. If you were to see my house, I have books everywhere. My mom is a bookhead and
mm.
basically just turned me on to books at a very young age. So that is like my collections. I have many books. And
Right.
so in my spare time, I like to read and in my spare time. Yes.
Right. Oh, and I forgot to add this into. I am a professional wrestling fanatic.
Oh,
Uh,
y'all picture Ron in wait, wait. As soon as he said that, I'm like, picture him in them boxing shorts, y'all, with his face painted. He like to watch, like he likes the real fake wrestling that is on
yes,
TV.
yes. And you
And
know
he
what?
wants to do it. He wants to be a wrestler. I'm putting this out here. Y'all need to come and hire my boy and get him on WW. What is it called?
WWE. Yeah, WWE.
WWE. Yeah, y'all need to call, get Ron trained for
Right.
WWE because trust me, it's a whole bunch of us want to see him in the ring.
Right.
Okay.
So you just had to put that out there, huh?
That was just so dope, and I'm putting that for that to manifest.
All right. So
Manifest
just
that.
letting
Go
all
ahead.
y'all know, like, I'm gonna take a bump. I'm gonna get trained well enough to take a bump and be the world's first disabled wrestler on the amateur status.
I think that would be absolute. When I tell you that would be absolutely amazing, that would
Right.
be amazing.
But when I told you, when we were talking and through many of our conversations, and I told you I was a professional wrestling fan, you kind of like made fun of me, man. It hurt my feelings.
I ain't made fun of you. I thought it was funny, like, but not because of nothing except like
No.
And being a wrestler, you skinny. You don't even look like no dang on wrestler.
Yo,
Like
talk about somebody who's skinny.
I'm
Mm.
cool with being skinny.
I'm
Like
cool.
I have no problem being skinny. I never said I want to be a WWE wrestler. No.
All right, so yeah, but yeah, that's what I want to do with my life. Um,
That's one
eventually,
of the things he wants to do,
one of the
y'all.
things. Yeah, so
What else do you want to do? So if you had to name
mm,
the top 5 things that you want to accomplish before you leave this earth, what is your top 5?
well, I'm doing one already, which is working in radio. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
two is to become an advocate. Three would be the world's first disabled professional wrestler. Um, number four, start my own radio station.
Yes.
Yeah, start my own radio station. And I guess number five would be my own podcast, which I'm doing right now with you. So, I got a few more things that I want to accomplish. And I just got to figure out what those things are. But I'm pretty much happy with the things that I'm doing now. There's
Right.
always room for improvement. And I'm pretty much happy with the way that my life is. I've
Beautiful.
been really, really blessed. A lot of y'all don't know. I think most of them do know that I lost my grandmother 2 years ago. So I'm still coping with that. Um, it's been a learning process. I've found out that I had strength that I didn't even know I had.
Hmm.
And I just come from a good background and a good family. Um, a bit of an asshole sometimes when I need to be. That's about it. You know. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Man, just hit us up, man, on
We're not
Instagram,
done.
Facebook.
You be quick to like cut off. We're
No,
not done.
no. I know. I'm just telling the people where they
Oh,
can hit
okay.
us up at. I'm
Oh,
reiterating where they can hit us up at. I know what
okay.
I'm doing.
Okay. All right. My
All
bad.
right. Yeah. Don't. I got this. You didn't mess up the whole damn flow of the
I
show.
ain't mess up nothing.
All right. So yeah, just hit us up, man, on Instagram at the Ryan Rich and Toni Hickman show, and you know we'll respond to all your messages. So what I want to know is like we know about your uh what was it, two brain aneurysms
Hmm.
and one stroke, right? So like when did all that exactly happen with you?
The first brain aneurysm was 2004, and then the second one was 2007, and that's the one that burst inside of my head, and I had a stroke on the operating table. So
Wow. Wow.
yeah.
So like I don't think a lot of people know. I hear and I've heard a lot of things about stroke and uh different things like that. So like what are some of the characteristics that you experienced when you had your first one, if you don't mind talking about it?
Well, brain aneurysms are different from the stroke, and so I can really only tell you about the brain aneurysms
Hmm.
because I was unconscious when I had a stroke.
So you
Um,
didn't know.
it was happening while they were inside of my head operating. So I was not aware, but my symptoms from the brain aneurysm, the main thing that I remember from 2004 and 2007
Hmm.
was vomiting.
Wow.
Yeah, like vomiting. That was my main symptom. And and the second one, I thought I had food poisoning because I was in New Orleans.
Hmm.
And I thought I had food poisoning because I was with my boyfriend at the time, and his mom had made me like some vegetarian rice, and I ate it, and I thought I was sick, but I wasn't, and I just kept vomiting, and then next thing you know, I passed out in his sister's bathroom, and he said that my head hit the toilet, and
Wow.
they were rushed me to the hospital. But the when I got there, the aneurysm had started leaking in my brain. So if you don't know what an aneurysm is, a lot of people do die from them. When
Mm-hmm.
I tell people about it, they're like, "Oh, my relative of some kind died from it." So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I understand that my life has a purpose because of it. And not that I didn't think that before, but you know, after going through all of that, it's just like, yeah, if I didn't die, then I definitely have to give of myself.
Right. I always tell people, me being born with my disability, it always kind of gives you like a third eye. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm,
it gives you a different outlook than uh it would with a person that doesn't have, a disability, or something that didn't develop over time. Like,
right.
you have a tendency to look at things differently, and you have a tendency to kind of think, I guess, outside of the box, while
Mm,
while everybody else around you is like in this one little world. You kind of look at things like, okay, a little different than most. So
mm.
that's one thing that I say having cerebral palsy or being born with cerebral palsy has done for me. And over time, I just had to learn, like, just within the course of this past year, I had to learn like a lot about my disability. You know what I'm saying? I have cerebral palsy spastic diplegia, where uh, it affects the left side of my body. Um, my legs are really, really tight, and I have limited mobility in my legs. And one of my biggest things that I have to overcome and have to learn how to do at the age of 35 is stretch. It has always been a problem for me. I've always been hard headed when it comes to stretching and, like, working out my legs. I work out my upper body, but my legs I just don't worry about. I'm not gonna say I don't worry about it. I just don't do it, and
You
that is
don't.
like one of the worst things that you could ever do, because you're constantly tight.
And then on top of that, like if you're not working on it, you're decreasing it. So
Hmm.
I know that young man that you post on our page, he's amazing. I don't
Hmm.
know his name. What's his name?
I
Because we
I
have a
would.
couple of videos with him. He's running, going back and forth.
Oh,
And
Buster the Strong Man. Yeah. Tevin.
yeah.
Yeah. Shouts out to Tevin, man. He's doing his thing. I think he follows us too on YouTube. So yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Yeah, I think he is amazing as well. But he's working out. He's doing great stuff, and I think everybody, like, I'm a gym nut. I love going to the gym because one thing I have learned, disability or not really, but
Hmm.
if you don't use it, you lose it, right? And so you have to work your muscles, you have to exercise, you have to eat healthy. I mean, we have to honestly do the best thing that we can do is give our body the proper attention it deserves,
Right.
you know?
Now, one thing that I did do when I was in high school, I did compete in something called Gumbo, the acronym which stands for Games Uniting Mind and Body. So I did that from the second grade all the way through high school.
Wow.
Yeah, and it did teach us a lot about physical fitness, and it taught me things that I didn't even think that I could do. So my junior year and senior year in high school, I did compete in international competition. I went to Windsor, Ontario twice, and I think I still hold the record for longest throw and shot put and discus and running long jump, modified running long
Wow.
jump. Yeah, so that's one thing that I did do, and that's I'm not a major health nut, but I try to stay as active as possible. I try to eat right, which is what you're always talking and staying on me about. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But yeah,
But you're
that
not horrible. I know some people
no,
really eat
right,
horrible, so you're not horrible.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep alcohol intake to a minimum. And I'm on a new journey of trying to cut sweets out of my diet. But anybody who knows me knows that I have a major sweet tooth. But yeah, gumbo just taught me a lot about taking care of self. It taught me a lot about teamwork, communicating with other people that had disabilities like me, or people that had more severe disabilities. It helped me understand their way of life, and taught me that you know they're human, but they do things differently than I do. So
Right.
those things just really brought me out of my shell and made me the person who I am today. And I still keep in contact with my old track coach, which reminds me I have to call her. So yeah.
That's beautiful.
hmm So yeah, man.
Okay.
So I want to ask you, like, what is something that makes you tick? Like, what is something that sends you over the edge?
Like in a positive way?
Positive, negative, in between.
Oh, okay. Well, positive, I definitely enjoy when I'm doing motivational speaking on stage of any kind, stuff like this. I love it because it gives me an opportunity to shed the light that I have.
Right.
Uh, Negative, I can't stand BS. I don't like BS. I rather I don't like anyone to BS me, if I'm
hmm
making sense. Like,
hmm
you could tell me what it is, what it ain't, but don't give me your excuses or anything like that, because I really don't believe in excuses. And, I've been in situations where it's like, I can't make it somewhere or I can't do something, and I'll just say, like, I can't do it. I have no excuse. It's no excuse. I just couldn't make it, or like, I'm gonna be straight up and blunt, and
Right.
I prefer people to be like that with me. So that's one of my, like, pet peeves. I'm gonna be as real and sincere as I can with you, and I just love it reciprocated. And if it's not, then I'm learning to just keep the peace, but still I just kind of, like, keep my distance too if it's just not reciprocated.
I'm a firm believer in that too. Like, you have to just be honest with me. I would rather a person be honest with me and make me jump through hoops, because number one, it's gonna make me look stupid. you
Right.
know, and number
Right.
two, it's gonna make you look stupid. So, my thing is just be honest and just be real. Like, if I'm telling you up front what's going on with me, I expect the same from you. So like you said, let it be reciprocated.
Right.
But a lot of people don't do that. And one thing I've noticed with having a disability is people just always try to soften the blow when it comes to certain things, and when it comes to, like, uh communicating. And I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it comes from the fact that they think a person who has a disability is going to be sensitive to things. I don't know. That's what I've experienced over time. you know
Yeah, perhaps. But if you think about, well, I know for me, I can't say I done dealt with BS's all my life. It ain't even with no
yeah,
disability,
right. It's
It's
just
just the character of some humans.
right.
Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something, because I was talking to a friend of mine of Falade, that's her name here. And so me and her was talking, and we were having this conversation, and I was telling her, I said, yeah, I just believe in being blunt, because I think I had just had a conversation with somebody else, and I was kind of firm, and
hmm
in some kind of way I was telling her, like, I prefer to be blunt. And she said, this is great advice, okay, because now every time I keep this thought in my head. So she said, I said, yeah, I could be blunt sometimes. And she said, but Toni, everybody cannot receive your bluntness. She said, sometimes you have to learn to put honey on your tongue.
hmm
And I was like, okay. just to soften the way you say things. You can still make the same point, but not as aggressively. And I took that like I'm not perfect. I know that. And my son, he'll tell me sometimes, like, I hope you didn't say it that way to mommy, or, because,
Hmm.
yeah, he wouldn't even want me to talk to his teachers. Like, I got
Right.
it. No, you don't need to go.
Right. Well, no, I mean, I'm like that too. And I've been told in some instances that I need to like kind of tone it down a little bit, but I can honestly say like my grandfather was like that. And my
Mm,
grandfather was the man who raised me. So, you know, I'm my manhood is modeled after him and my uncles and basically all the men who surrounded me in my life were always just blunt with me. Even my mom to a certain extent.
right.
She's just, you know, out
Raw.
there with it. Yeah,
Right.
raw with it. But I respect it because I know you're not lying to me.
Exactly.
I mean, even when it comes to you and just our conversations that we've had about podcasts, just about life, you've been really blunt with me, and that's one of the things I respect about you. So yeah, keep it going.
And it's reciprocated too.
Hmm.
Like, I appreciate that. Like, you don't have any issues telling me about anything or whatever. And I think that's how you grow relationships,
Right.
because you can't grow it on BS. You have to grow it on honesty and trust, you
It's
know?
like I said, if a female could tell me that I got boogers in my nose, you a friend for life, bro. All right. So yeah, man. I thank you for that for real.
I
Yeah,
love.
yeah. So tell them what we got coming up on the next podcast.
Man, okay, so look, okay, we have to have Ebony on. So Ebony is gonna be the very first guest, and we are
Yep.
very excited about having you, Ebony. I just
Hmm.
want you to know that. And I'm really excited to hear about your books and everything you have going on, because you are really an inspiration. So
Yeah.
we are gonna have you on soon. We just have to get our setup correct. And then after that, oh, after that, oh my goodness.
You so
I think,
melodramatic.
but after that,
Uh-huh.
we have a guest, y'all.
Hmm.
Should I even tell him just yet? Or
We could tease it. We could
we
tease
could
it. We could
see,
tease it. Yeah.
well, we have a guest that is going to talk about, and if you are disabled or
Hmm.
not disabled, you
Right.
will want to tune into this show.
I bet they
I
would, huh?
promise you. And that's all I had to say about that right now.
And you probably gonna be trying to get some stuff out of me that I don't want to talk about,
I'm gonna get some stuff out of her.
huh? Yeah. So man, just stay tuned with that and with that special guest. We'll reveal that in a couple weeks
Yes.
because she told me that she'd be interested in doing it. Let's just say it involves some things. Yeah. Right.
I'm telling y'all, when I tell y'all, you are gonna want to tune in. That's all I have to say. You
Right.
have to tune in, because yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. And
Right.
Ebony's show is gonna be very interesting too, because she has an amazing story, and she's just always doing things. She actually reminds me a lot of myself. She just out there, like, she's
Right.
doing everything, and I think it's beautiful. So
Hmm.
yeah, we have to get Ebony on too, because she's a powerhouse as well. And
She is. She is very much so.
so
So yeah, and like I said, I'm going back to the conversation that I had with Ebony when I first started doing this. She was like, "Yo, big head," because that's what she calls me, big head.
mhm,
Uh, you know, she was like, "Just put the shit out there." She didn't say shit because
yeah,
she don't curse like I do, but she was
right,
like, "Yo, just put your story out there and like you got to do it." Because you don't fit the so-called stereotypical mold of a person, or she said we don't fit the stereotypical mold of people who have been born with cerebral palsy. Like we've
Right.
overcome so many obstacles and overcome so many struggles. Like it's not even funny. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that, man. And I think we gonna close this one out. What you think?
Yeah, I think we're good now.
All right. So everybody, just bear with us. All of our followers, man, just bear with us because we still trying to work through the kinks and we still trying to get everything squared away. So man, this is a weekly process, and just stick by us and whatever opinions or questions you have about the show, something that you like, something that you don't like, we are willing to
We're
you know,
listening
we're
because we're,
listening.
yeah, tune in, let us know because
Hmm.
we're open, and email us as well if you have suggestions because that's the biggest thing. Like, we are here for you, you
Hmm.
know? So, oh, but no
Yeah.
matter what, even though it's not everywhere, it is on YouTube. So,
Yep.
this will be on YouTube. It will be on Facebook. We're going to have all of that up. So, just, you
Right.
can still follow us, follow our page, all of that. And the page is the Ron and Tony podcast at
Hmm.
Gmail.
Yeah. Ryan and
Dot
Tony
com.
podcast at gmail.com. So hit us
Yeah,
up. Uh when we utilize Facebook and we utilize Instagram heavily, man. So just
yeah,
follow us on those two. Friend request us or however you feel the need to get in contact with
yeah,
us, man.
definitely,
Right.
definitely. So,
So uh this has been Ryan Rich,
Tony
and
Hickman.
we'll see you guys next week. Now, before we get off the air, you said next week we gonna do a broadcast early, right?
Yes, because, oh, and I have to answer a question because I forgot his name. He's
Hmm.
a DJ. He's a DJ, but he asked, why did you give me my name, Slim Goody?
Oh, that's my boy, Derek, man. Yeah,
Yeah, he follows
yeah,
me on
Derek. Right. Yeah.
right. So he
Hmm.
asked, did you give me the name? And so I need to correct that real quick.
Right.
Slim Goody is a name I gave myself
Hmm.
when I was living in New York because I went to New York before I got signed to Suave House. And I was walking down the street and this dude called me Slim Goody. I said, now before that, I was T Capone. Picture that. I was Al Capone's daughter. Yeah, I
What
was
the
gangster,
wait?
gangster.
What the
Mm-mm.
hell? Wait. Okay. All right.
Right, that's the New Orleans. So you
All right.
go search New Orleans archives, you'll find T Capone. So
Yeah.
anyway, I was
Yo, she a tall drink of water too, Derek. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
yeah, I'm real slim, slender,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
6 feet tall.
She's
So
as
when
tall
he
as me.
said,
But go ahead.
yeah, you a little taller than me though. You got me by like an inch or two.
Sexy. Understand.
Okay.
But go finish with your story.
So when he said that, I
Mhm.
was like, that would be a good rap name. And I took it. So I became Slim Goody. And when I got signed to Suave House, like
Mhm.
that was my rap name. I was Slim Goody, but still went by Toni Hickman too. Like I always kept my name in
Right.
there.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. So man. Oh, and happy early birthday to you too.
Yes, cause so that was the whole
Right.
point you was about to make. Yeah, my birthday is coming up next Wednesday, so I'm having a little dig in Houston. But yeah, my birthday is next Wednesday, so we will be recording early. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And within the next couple months, I'm making a trip up there, letting all the public know I'm coming up to H Town to see one of my partners get married off and be at his wedding. So while I'm up there, I'm gonna try to link up with you and maybe we could do
Right.
a live while I'm there.
Right. Most
So
definitely.
yeah. But man, we'll see y'all next week. Peace and blessings. We love y'all and we appreciate the support.
And follow us at the Ron Rich and Tony Hickman show. That's yeah, I can't say it enough. We love
Yep.
y'all.
We love y'all. We out. Good night. Peace.